Let's start. Okay. There's 5. I think that's good. Okay.
Good. Hi, everyone. My name is Stephen Weems, and today my task is to talk about one of the greatest successes in my life. But before I tell you my success, I want you to ponder on the question on how can one man or one woman have a major impact in such a complicated society. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in America, Columbus, Ohio, and had aspirations to be an NBA basketball player, just like the normal child, and lived a lifestyle of the rich and the famous. But my school was a little rocky. From kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, my behavior was outrageous, and my grades were not there. My mom didn't find out about some of my grade cards until last speech last week. So that's how bad I was. I was hiding interims and all of that. But it was something happened around the third grade where I finally hit honor roll and I gathered my confidence to be able to be a good student. And so I did well all the way till 12th grade, keeping my grades up. I played all-city golf. I was the team captain and top 3 in the state of Ohio. And I also was all-city basketball and a varsity player. But deep beneath the smile, there was something else going on at the foundation. You see, I was raised in a home that was broken. My father abused my mother, and I had to watch it as a child growing up. And it had negative impacts on me that finally reared their head by the time I was 18. So around 18, after I graduated, I went to the streets and I began to sell drugs. I got into anything negative that I could get into. But the good thing is the story doesn't end there. You see, through a series of events, my life would change forever. The first being that my sister found out I was selling drugs, and I don't know how, and she snitched on me to my mother. And my mother confronted me with tears and just anger, disappointment. She couldn't believe I went from the golf house to the drug house. And so it was at that moment I threw away all the drugs I had. I got rid of my scale, and I never looked back. But I wasn't changed within. And it was a few years later, I finally went with my sisters to the church. It was in this church that I found a whole new world, verbiage that I had never heard before, such as love and peace, joy, and being born again. And it struck me. And I decided from that very moment that I would have the confidence to go back in my life and right the wrongs, which leads me to my success. And I decided that I was going to get married and be a successful father. So 12 years later, my wife and my children are the ones you see. I am a faithful husband. I've never cheated on my wife yet. I've never cheated on my wife, and I'm always there for my children, and I don't abuse my wife. So that is my success. Now, the U.S. Statistics Bureau claims that 1 in every 4 children will be born in a home without a father, and even greater number are those who will experience abuse to some degree. And this has negative impacts on a child's life. Psychiatrists and sociologists agree that you are more likely to live a life of poverty, commit crimes, or it even has negative impact on you physically. And so a lot of our global problems are streaming from the household structure. So I think it's so important for me to be a father, not only just for my children, but eventually to help be a global solution to a big problem. So I'll leave you with a a saying from Lao Shao. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And over the last 12 years of my life, I consider I have taken the first step. Thank you.
So I'm about to show you that.